Amaka was the kind of girl nobody in AJ Street could ever forget. At 25, she walked like she owned the whole ghetto, her slippers slapping loudly against the dusty ground as she moved from one compound to another every morning. She caused noise before the sun even stretched its arms. If she wasn't shouting at Mama Nkechi for selling oversalted akara, she was arguing with the boys at the junction who always teased her for being too stubborn for one person. Leave me on, let me get my mouth. I need to fear anybody, she could shout that. Hands on her waist, her dread hair bouncing as she talked. Too many people in the neighborhood do call her names. Amaka was a troublemaker, but behind her loud voice and sharp tongue, she carried a heart full of scars nobody ever bothered to look at. She grew up with nothing. Her mother died when she was 8. Her father disappeared when she was 13. And since then, she learned to fight for herself. She wasn't disturbing the neighborhood because she enjoyed it. She was simply trying to protect herself from a world that had never protected her. She lived in a small shanty at the back of a long, rusted zinc fence. The place leaked whenever it rained, and the only beautiful thing in her life was her dreams. Amaka dreamt of a better life every night. She wanted a peaceful home, clean streets, good food, and a chance to breathe without struggling. She didn't know how, and she don't have anybody to guide her. But in her heart, she believed something good would happen someday. It was a Saturday morning when Amaka's life took an unexpected turn. She had gone to fetch water at the borehole near the main road. The queue was long, and as usual, boys were whistling and joking loudly. Amaka ignored them until one boy bumped into her and almost spilled her bucket. "Are you mad?" she shouted immediately. The boy hissed and warned her to lower her voice, but Amaka only grew hotter. "Try am again, make I show you," she barked. Unknown to her, someone in a black CUV parked beside the road was watching the entire scene. The tinted glass slid down slowly, revealing a man wearing a suit. He was calm but curious expression. His name was Chike Okoro, a 32-year-old billionaire in the real estate industry. Chike had come to visit one of his ongoing housing projects nearby. He wasn't supposed to pass through that street, but traffic diverted him into AJ. When he saw Amaka shouting confidently at the whole group of boys, he said softly, "This girl need a feel." He murmured. At first it was amusement, but he watched her carry the heavy bucket with her small but firm shoulders. Something about her strength and fire caught his attention. When Amaka finished filling her bucket and turned to leave, the SUV door opened. The boys quitted immediately as the rich man stepped out. Chike approached her. "Excuse me," he said gently. Amaka rolled her eyes. "Oga beg, I need to buy anything." He smiled. "I saw what happened. You are really bold." "And so?" she snapped, not impressed. Chike laughed again. "What is your name?" "My name is Amaka. Wetin happen?" "I liked your confidence," he said. "Most people would have walked away, but he stood your ground." Amaka blinked in confusion. People always insulted her for being cold, but here was a stranger admiring it. "Okay, thank you." She muted, trying to walk past him, but the man wasn't done. "Do you mind if I could drop you off?" She turned sharply. "No be my street be this. I fit walk. Let me help you carry the water then. Amaka almost fainted. This well-dressed, obviously rich man wanted to carry her bucket. Before she could protest, he already lifted it with ease and walked beside her. People stared. Children whispered. Mama Nkechi froze with her kara spoon in the air, and for the first time, Amaka was shy. That was unexpected meeting became the beginning of something Amaka never imagined. Chike returned to AJ again the next week, pretending to check his housing projects. But the truth, he came to look for Amaka. They started talking, slowly at first. Then more often, Chike discovered that behind her tough exterior was a brilliant young woman who taught herself everything she knew. She just needed opportunity. He began to encourage her, teach her, and expose her to new ideas. He enrolled her in fashion course because she loved sewing, and he even helped her fix her leaking roof. Amaka, on the other hand, taught him things money couldn't buy. Street wisdom and the beauty of simple life. People in the ghetto watched the friendship in disbelief. Amaka don't catch rich man. Na lie, e no fit last, he said. She go spoil everything with her bad mouth. But she didn't. In fact, the more time she spent with Chike, the calmer she became. The whole neighborhood noticed that Amaka no longer shouts every morning. She stopped fighting every little thing. She started dressing neatly, smiling more and minding her business. Chike brought out the soft part of her heart she had buried long ago. Months passed, and the bond between them grew deeper. One evening, Chike invited her to a quiet restaurant on the island. Amaka felt nervous. She wasn't used to such places, but he assured her she would be fine. When they sat down, he held her hand gently. Amaka, he began, you are strong, rare, and full of life. You've changed the way I see the world. She looked away shyly. Nobody had ever spoken to her like that. I know you are not used to this, he continued. But I don't want to hide how I feel anymore. I love you. Amaka froze. For a moment, she wondered if he was joking. You love me? She whispered, yes, truly. Tears filled her eyes before she could stop them. She remembered all the times people called her useless, loud, stubborn, unworthy. Yet, here was a rich, calm, educated man telling her she was valuable. I love you too, she finally said. He smiled, wiping her tears gently. Then let's build a life together. Within a year, Amaka's life transformed, not because Chike was rich, but because he saw potential in her and helped her become the best version of herself. She finished her fashion course, opened her own boutique on the island, and moved out of the ghetto, but she never forgot where she came from. Sometimes she returned to AJ to greet old neighbors, and whenever children saw her car, they shouted, Auntie Amaka don't turn big madam. She just laughed. Her heart full. Amaka, the ghetto girl once known for trouble, ended up with a rich man, not by pretending to be someone else, but by being herself. And for the first time in her life, she finally had peace, love, and a beautiful home.